There is a specific kind of person that unsettles others. They do not explain themselves. They do not rush to respond. They do not compete for attention. They sit still. And for reasons most people cannot articulate, the room begins to orient around them, not because they speak the loudest, not because they dominate physically, but because they are unreadable. Human beings are deeply uncomfortable around what they cannot predict, and prediction is the foundation of control. Today, you will learn why quiet people often hold social power, and more importantly, how noise, emotion, and overexposure quietly remove yours. This is not about being shy. This is not about being passive. This is about control through restraint, power through stillness, dominance without display. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Stillness as strategy. Ancient strategists understood something modern people forget. The one who reacts is already late. In samurai philosophy, there is an idea called *zanshin*, remaining awareness. Not frozen, not tense, simply present, watching. Zen monks trained not to control the world, but to control their response to it. Because whoever controls their response controls the encounter. Quiet people are not silent by accident. They have learned something dangerous. Every word reveals position. Every reaction exposes leverage. Every explanation creates a handle for manipulation. Silence removes handles. Stillness collapses strategy. This is not charisma. It is subtraction. Let us talk about someone you recognize. Perhaps it is you. This person overthinks. They replay conversations. They wonder if they said too much. They seek approval subtly. They fill silence because silence feels like rejection. They explain their intentions before anyone asks. When tension appears, they react emotionally. They defend. They clarify. They seek closure. They believe openness builds trust. Instead, it builds access. Predators do not look for strength. They look for predictability. And this person is predictable. Illusion 1. Trusting too quickly. Trust is not built through speed. It is built through consistency over time. Quiet people understand this. When you trust quickly, you reveal your internal rules. You show what moves you. You disclose what matters. This information is never neutral. Behavioral psychology shows that people unconsciously test boundaries early. Not aggressively, casually, a small disrespect, a subtle probe, a slight contradiction. Those who rush to trust rush to explain. Quiet people do neither. They wait. Illusion 2. Overexplaining. Overexplaining feels virtuous. It feels honest, transparent, reasonable. In reality, it signals uncertainty. The more you explain, the more you invite judgment, the more you justify, the more you place yourself on trial. Quiet people state. They do not defend. They understand a simple truth. Those who owe explanations have already surrendered authority. Silence after a statement forces the other person to respond, to reveal, to move, and movement reveals intention. Illusion 3. Emotional reactions. Emotion is information leakage. Neuroscience confirms this. Emotional expression gives observers predictive power. They learn what triggers you, what destabilizes you, what rewards or punishes them. Quiet people feel emotion, but they do not release it on demand. They delay. Delay creates space. Space creates choice. Choice creates dominance. When you react immediately, you become manageable. When you pause, you become dangerous. Illusion 4. Seeking closure. Closure is a comfort addiction. It feels like resolution, like maturity, but socially, seeking closure often places you beneath the other person. You ask for clarity. They hold ambiguity, and ambiguity is power. Quiet people do not chase emotional loose ends. They let silence do the work. Most people cannot tolerate unfinished emotional business. They will talk. They will confess. They will expose themselves. Silence is a mirror. Illusion 5. Needing approval. Approval seeking is submission disguised as politeness. It leaks through tone, through posture, through excessive agreement. Quiet people are internally referenced. They do not adjust themselves to be accepted. They observe who adjusts around them. This shifts the power axis. When you do not seek approval, others begin to offer it. Illusion 6. Talking to fill silence. Silence terrifies the unprepared. It feels awkward, hostile, rejecting. But silence is not empty. It is pressure. In negotiation psychology, silence increases disclosure. The first person to speak after silence usually loses leverage. Quiet people let silence expand. They understand that discomfort makes others reveal their priorities. Words spill. Masks slip. Stillness watches. Now we move from illusion to method. Silence as default. Silence is not a tactic you deploy. It is your baseline. You speak when there is purpose. Not to manage perception. Not to soothe tension. Purpose only. Delayed responses, immediate responses satisfy others. Delayed responses protect you. A pause forces emotional regulation. It prevents reactive agreements. It signals self-possession. You are not available on demand. Emotional neutrality. Neutrality is unreadability, not coldness, not indifference. Control. Your face does not announce your thoughts. Your tone does not betray your position. This denies manipulators feedback. Fixed boundaries. Quiet people do not negotiate boundaries verbally. They enforce them behaviorally. They leave. They disengage. They reduce access. No drama. No explanation. Consistency trains others faster than words. Observing before speaking. Observation precedes action. Who interrupts? Who seeks validation? Who tests limits? Quiet people map the room before entering the game. Most people speak first. Observers choose last. Ending conversations first. This is subtle and powerful. Ending first reverses dependency. You decide when access ends. You leave without apology. This creates psychological asymmetry. Psychological detachment. Attachment creates leverage points. Detachment removes them. You are present, but not invested in outcomes that compromise your self-respect. This is not apathy. It is sovereignty. Pre-decided reactions. Quiet people do not improvise emotionally. They have already decided what they tolerate, what they ignore, what ends interaction. This removes hesitation, and hesitation is weakness. Consistency. Without gaps, power leaks through inconsistency. One emotional outburst undoes months of discipline. Quiet people are predictable in one way only. They remain controlled. Always. At some point, something dies. The version of you that explains, that reacts, that seeks reassurance. It feels uncomfortable, like stepping out of noise into still water. You stop trying to be understood. You start watching. You become the observer of human behavior, not the participant begging for safety. This is the moment manipulation fails. Because manipulation requires engagement, and you no longer give it freely. Now the shift. You are unreadable. Your calm unsettles emotional players. Your silence slows aggressive ones. People project onto you. They reveal themselves. You do not rush intimacy. You do not chase clarity. You do not correct assumptions. You let others show you who they are. You become difficult to manipulate, psychologically dominant, internally independent, not loud, not visible, but positioned. If you understand what has been revealed here, do not treat it as entertainment. Subscribe, not for content, for commitment. And comment one sentence below, not to speak to me, but to mark awareness publicly. Those who act differently move differently. From this point forward, notice how often silence changes outcomes. Notice who becomes uncomfortable. Notice who talks more. Notice who loses control. You will not be able to return to noise. Once you step into stillness, the old version of you no longer fits. And that change is irreversible.